Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Great, we're live.
Thank you, Isabel. Good morning and welcome to today's hearing. My name is Councillor Baclini and I shall be chairing the hearing. My colleagues, Councillor Colley, Councillor Gallant and I comprise today's subcommittee for this expedited review hearing. Uyeme Davis is the legal advisor to the committee, and also present is Isobel Robb, who is the clerk to the subcommittee and will be minuting the meeting. In accordance with procedure, I shall invite the applicant to present the application for the review hearing and call any witnesses in respect of whom permission to appear has been given and answer any questions put to them. I will also invite the premises to make their representations, answer any questions, and call any witnesses. I will also invite the parties to briefly sum up their respective cases. At the end of the hearing, the subcommittee, accompanied by the legal advisor and the committee clerk, will retire to consider its decision. The decision will be given at the end of the meeting and confirmed in writing as soon as possible. So welcome everyone. Can I ask all present please to introduce themselves? We start with the premises holder.
I'm Mr. Panchal. I'm with Mr. Harmohan Singh. I will be presenting the case on behalf of the applicant who's present with me. I'm Mr. Panchal. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Mr. Bobdir.
Thank you. Bob Deere, I'm a Licensing Compliance and Enforcement Officer for Ealing Council.
Thank you. I will move now to Bob Deere to present his review application, please.
Thank you, Chair. This is a premises, an off-licence premises in 344 Greenford Avenue, W7 3DA. It's been licensed since 2010 and the premises licence was transferred to Harmohan Singh Gulati in October 2014, and he is also the designated premises supervisor. Premises were visited on Tuesday the 29th of October when Trading Standards briefed a young male volunteer who was taking part in a test purchase exercise to off-licence premises. His date of birth was 2009 and that was making him 15 years and 8 months old. Approximately 17:10, a Trading Standards officer entered the off-licence named Best One. It's trading as Hanwell Food and Wine and was followed by the male volunteer a short time after. He went to the counter to the right. Behind the counter was a male shop assistant who was asked for a vape. A banknote was handed over and change given. The volunteer left the shop and returned to us. At no time did the shop assistant ask for ID or ask the volunteer's age, and the vape was placed in an evidence bag. At 17:10, officers returned to the shop with the vape in the sealed bag and entered the shop. A male, Asian male stood behind the counter who appeared to be writing and serving a customer at the same time. The officers produced their identification and stated the purpose of the visit. Excuse me. The man gave his name as Jeet Gulati, who was the brother of the DPS and premises licence holder. And when the offence was pointed out to him, he replied, I wasn't concentrating. An inspection sheet was completed and the man was asked to sign for a receipt of it, which he did, and that's exhibited is RD1. These premises have come to notice previously, and that was on Thursday the 20th of August 2020. Again, it was visited by Trading Standards and Licensing, and the premises licence holder father was in the shop serving on that occasion. In the storeroom, officers discovered cases of Polish beer stacked and bottles of Polish vodka duty diverted were found on the shelves and in the storeroom, very close to the door. On that occasion, he could not produce an invoice and later admitted that it had been purchased from a non-authorised wholesale operator and it had just been delivered. The officer seized the Polish beer and spirits and issued a receipt for that property. At the bottom of the receipt, he was given a first and final warning and told that if any other offences were found at that shop, it would be reviewed. And I exhibit this form as RD2. We then left the premises. In total, on the following property was seized on the first visit was 83 cases, that's 966 cans of Polish beer, 20 70cl bottles, 14 litres, and 9 550cl bottles, 4.5 litres of Polish non-duty paid spirits. These were all seized. The unpaid duty amounted to over £1,000. The premises does not have any conditions except the mandatory conditions, that appear in the licenses. I'd like to point out that the sale of illegal products we know is linked to organised crime. Effective enforcement is key to successfully reducing the number of shops selling to children. Officers must prove that they have taken all reasonable precautions and have exercised all due diligence in preventing underage sales. I say that the premises licence holder is failing to promote the crime prevention and disorder licence objective and the protection of children from harm objective. The volunteer was clearly under 18 years of age, was not asked for any ID, and the staff member alone on the premises was not suitably trained. Due to the above instance and obvious disregard for the law, I would ask that the ultimate sanction open to committee be exercised and the premises licence be revoked. That is my evidence in this case. I have no witnesses that I've asked to come today, and I'm open for questions, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Deer. I will ask now Mr. Panchal if he has any questions to direct it to you. Mr. Panchal?
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, I would like to ask a question to Bob Deer regarding the Thursday, 20th August 2020 raid. We're not disputing that, but my question to Mr. Bob Deer is, during your visit on Tuesday, 29th October 2024, did you manage to look at the shop again, and did you find anything of what was you found on 2020?
Behind the counter was looked at. Nothing was found in the shop. No.
Nothing was found in the.
Nothing was found. No.
So they were fully compliant with what after what had happened on 2020. Am I right in saying that?
We didn't look for beer on that occasion. Obviously, we're dealing with the underage test purchase.
You did look through the shop.
Sorry, ma'am, my client says the shop was looked into, the store and everywhere during your visit on Tuesday, 29th October. Do you agree with that?
Oh, sorry. It was for vapes. We were looking for any non-compliant vapes, which we didn't find any.
You didn't find any.
I didn't personally look for alcohol on that occasion.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
the license, just to clarify to Mr. Bob Deer, the license was transferred on 6/6/2017 and not 14 to Mr. Harmoon Singh's name.
Yeah. Mr. Deer?
I'll accept that, Chair.
Yeah.
Our records show the 2014, but
no problem.
Mr. Panchal, do you have any documents to prove the date, please? Could you kindly show it to us?
Yeah, ma'am, if you look at your bundle on page 26.
Yes.
And the license was issued on 6/6/2017. On top of the license, it states.
Sorry, you said page 16.
Page 26 of your bundle.
26, sorry.
In top right-hand corner, it says valid from 9/8/2017. The license does not expire. Issued 6/6/2017.
Yeah. So you mean the first, at the top?
Yes.
Number 1.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, but do you have anything to consolidate this? So do you have a proof that, any letters, anything you could tell us?
We only bought the shop in 2017.
The shop was bought on 2017, and the license was transferred into 2017, and hence Mr. Harmoon Singh was license holder from 6/6/2017. The document you see on page 26 is the evidence that you should be having, ma'am.
Chair, can I just come in there, please?
Yes, please go.
It doesn't.
It doesn't show.
It's not disputed. It doesn't prove anything apart from that.
Yes.
If Mr. Harman Singh says he bought it, then if he wants to look at the license, it's got two different names on as the DPS and
It's just that there's a
the
spelling,
premises license holder. I can point out. Maybe that's a typo. I don't know.
Okay, no
yeah.
problem.
Spelling mistake.
Yeah, Mr. Panchal, do you have any further questions to ask Mr. Dear?
No, ma'am, just to clarify further before we go, there is a spelling error from the council. It says the registered license holder is Harmon Singh Gulati, and the designated premises should be Harmon Singh Gulati. It should be a one
HAN there.
period. They made a mistake with the council.
Can you direct us which
Again, page 26, ma'am.
the
Chair,
same
it's
page?
Chair, it's the point I've just raised.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It doesn't
So it's
affect
fine. We can.
underage test purchases at all.
It doesn't affect anyway. We're just clarifying. We do understand.
Thank you, Mr. Panchal. I will move now to my fellow colleagues. I have Councillor Gallant, who wishes to ask a question. Before he goes ahead, may I ask you, Mr. Panchal, to put yourself on mute, please?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chair. Thanks. Question for Bob Dear. There's been a lapse of time, 4 years, and I just wondered whether there was any inspection between 2020 and 2024 of this premises. Just a question. And secondly, why wasn't there an inspection for, because if duty unpaid alcohol had been found in 2020, what was the reason for not checking that shop when it was inspected in 2024? Was there any reason not to check it?
Firstly, there's only been this visit since then, and that is just down to the vast number of off license we've got in this borough. Yes, it should have been checked. However, it's very hard to find. Duty diverted is not, and with Polish vodka, but we don't see a lot of that in the borough anymore. But with beer, it is very hard to distinguish which is lawfully from a wholesaler and which is not, i.e. bought from a right there man. So I didn't personally look. I can't say. It's not written down in any statement I've seen that beer was checked, but I know the vapes were checked and they were all found correct.
Okay, thanks. That's fine. That's great. Thanks.
Councillor Colley, do you have any questions to Mr. Dear? You're on mute.
Thank you, Chair. Not at the moment.
Thank you. I will move to Mr. Panchal. Yes, Mr. Panchal.
Just to can I help Bob Dear in Councillor Julian's question? My client says that there were visits made.
There was one visit in between.
There was one visit between
2020
and 24.
Yeah. It was from trading standards.
Yes, it is in the bundle. Thank you. Since there's no further questions to Mr. D, I will move now to Mr. Panchal to make his representation.
Thank you very much,
Please go ahead.
Ma'am, I'll be as quick as possible. Mr. Harmon Singh Gulati did take over the shop in 2017, and it after what happened in 2020, which you saw, there were no issues at the premises. He was warned about that, and he made sure none of the issues happened or none of the goods were ever brought back or purchased. All goods were purchased from AWRS registered from cash and carries. Even you could hear Mr. Bob Dear saying that the vapes were legal, but they were sold underage. I'm going to be stressing onto how the matter happened, and we have put some supplementary documents in saying what action was taken after that underage sales. Mr. Jeet Singh, who made the underage sales, was immediately warned by Mr. Harmoon Singh Gulati, and there is a letter in your bundle which we sent on supplementary thing that they warned Mr. Jit Singh Gulati that in future, if that happens, they will no longer allow him to be there. Then immediately Mr. Gulati sent Mr. Jit Singh Gulati to us for a level 1 award in underage sales. So he was again trained in the level 1 award for underage sales. So that matter was taken very seriously by Mr. Harmoon Singh. And thereafter, Mr. Jit Singh Gulati is now already booked with us. He's already set for the exam for APLH level 2 to obtain his personal license. So he now will be having a personal license, and he will be trained. He will be fully trained. And you could see in your bundle that we've seen the staff training register. So he now even has a staff training register, which was there, but now it is there, where Mr. Singh Gulati was retrained by Mr. Harmoon Singh, who's the DPS of the premises. That matters were taken in place. All the posters, all the refusal books are in place at the shop. There were no breaches for any of the refusal books or anything. They were fully compliant with the CCTV at the premises, according to the legislation. Training manuals, refusal book, incident book, and all the relevant posters were in place, and they were not breached at the premises. But they are also going to be looking into that. We understand that the premises at the present moment do not have any conditions, as you've seen in Mr. Bob Deer's report. So we're suggesting, and I do apologize today to the committee. Age is taking a toll at the moment, but that isn't the reason I'm going to give you. But we would propose a few conditions that I have with me, which is regarding the CCTV system at the premises shall be maintained in working condition and shall record 24 for 4 hours, 30 minimum of 31 days. And it should be available to police authority officer upon request, and shall be capable of identification of evidential quality in any light conditions. I also propose to add a few conditions about prominent signage indicating the permitted hours for the sale of alcohol should be displayed. In other words, the operating schedule to be present. I also would like to add the condition which would say an incident book, register, refusal book should be available. I've got the proposed conditions in the whatever licensing, Ealing Borough's licensing policy.
Yeah.
So I'm proposing those to be put up, and I will be able to send it to Mr. Bob Deer.
I think regarding the incident book register and the refusal book, I think this is one of the main conditions anyway when you apply to a license. I need to just clarify this with our legal advisor, Ms. Davis.
Yes, in reference to the mandatory conditions.
Yes, so this is anyway included. So this is not something new, Mr. Panchal.
I totally agree, ma'am. But at the moment, what Mr. Deer is saying and what we're saying regarding there is no conditions presently on the license totally. So we're trying to implement those conditions that I'm trying to suggest. But there is already compliant at the premises. They do have the refusal book, they do have the training manual, they do have the incident book, and everything is under compliance. But because what Mr. Bob Deer is saying is, I'm agreeing with him that the mandatory conditions are only there, but the other there are no proposed conditions laid out. So that's what Bob and myself could work it out and send it in.
Can I stop you here, Mr. Panchal? I need to just make sure this is properly clarified by Ms. Davis regarding the mandatory conditions, because some of the conditions you've laid just now are anyway included in the mandatory conditions that the licensing team would anyway offer within the license when you apply to get a license initially. Ms. Davis?
Yeah, Mr. Panchal, do you have a draft copy list that you could provide so that we just have some clarity as to exactly which conditions that you are proposing to be added or not? Because just so that we are clear, do you have a draft copy document that you could provide if you send it to Isabel?
Yeah, we do have draft conditions with us, and all we are saying today to the committee is there are draft conditions which if you look at the sorry, ma'am, if you look at page 27 of your bundle, those are the mandatory conditions. Apart those mandatory conditions do not have the conditions that I'm proposing at the premises, and I'm happy to send the conditions for both us and Bob Deere to agree to put it onto the license. That's what we are proposing. We do have proposed conditions which are sorry, the legal, is it N. Davis, isn't it? Sorry.
Yes.
My pronunciation, Mrs.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Panchal. I think it would just be helpful so that we're clear.
We'll send it down.
When the panel retires, what you're asking.
Yeah, I will send it down, but it's the mandatory conditions we are proposing that should be put up with the license, which is not there at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr.
We're happy to put it down, ma'am. And all matters have been taken serious consideration regarding the underage sales, and so, ma'am, we'll leave it to you today, and we do apologize to our clients that it will not happen again, and matters have taken into place, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Panchal.
Any questions? Yeah.
Yes. Can I ask, please, Mr. Deere, do you have any questions?
I have, Chair. I don't mind Mr. Gallant going before me. He's got his hand up. It's not a problem.
No, it's fine. If you can, please go ahead.
Ms. Panchal, we've obviously heard a lot of what has happened after the horses bolted, should we say? But one, is he a blood relative of the premises license holder?
He is. Yes, he is, brother.
And he, so he's not got a personal license, you've said?
He's now applied for.
Right, okay. Why has it taken 3 or 4 months to get him on a course?
No, he did the level 1 course straight a week after, but then he was busy during Christmas, so he did it after. In January, he booked it with Mr. Panchal for last month, and he just did that.
So he's already done it?
Yeah, he's already done the course. He's already done the course. He's going to get a certificate, and then he's going to apply for the license.
I just thought you meant, Mr. Panchal meant he was going to do it in March.
No, he's done his course already.
No, my mistake. And we've heard, I say, what has been done after, but why did, I call him Jeet, or your brother, why did he sell to an underage person who's clearly underage?
As you mentioned, he was writing and serving customers on the same time, so he just did it in a moment where he was busy with 2 things. That's what the mistake happened from him.
Right. Okay.
As you clearly said, when you went in, he was writing something and serving customers on the same time. That's exactly where it went wrong.
Okay. Yeah, it's not the first time people writing and on their mobile phones, not concentrating. How many hours of work does he? Sorry, how many hours a week does he work in your shop?
He helps me whenever it's needed. Sometimes 20, 25, sometimes 30 a week.
All right. Okay. I mean, has he got another job of something?
He owns another business. It's a coffee business, a bubble tea business in Windsor, but he helps me out with this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he knows the importance of checking ages and things like that. Okay.
He does.
And you're an experienced license holder, aren't you? You've got other premises.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. And you didn't. Well, how many other staff do you employ? Should we say? That's the question.
It's my dad, my brother, me, and sometimes my wife. So it's run within the family.
Okay, but how many shops have you got?
2.
And Okay, and they are, which premises are they?
This one and there's another one.
Okay, and you've recently bought one, haven't you?
That's the post office.
Yeah, it's not going to be an alcohol-led premises, no?
No, I'm not turning that into off license.
Okay, that's good.
Post office.
Okay, and I think what was mentioned by the chair was the mandatory conditions of an age verification policy that has been on mandatory conditions for a long time. Obviously, what I agree, you know, it's a license that's been transferred from 2005 or wherever it was there. So no conditions were ever put on. I mean, that was my main concern, that, you know, you can sell what you want and things like that. But I'm going to go very quickly, and I apologise for jumping all over the show. 2020, it was a while ago. And when we visited, you mentioned that somebody bought that alcohol, didn't they? Who bought that alcohol that day?
I think it was my father at that day that someone gave it to him. He wasn't sure about the duty and everything else, so he did that mistake. But
He works in your shop, doesn't he?
Yeah, but since then I have taken care of the buyings myself, and I make sure it comes from the right cash and carries with the license and everything.
Okay, I'm just thinking that if I had an off license and offered me 96 cases of beer and 20 odd bottles of Polish vodka, I'd find it a bit suspicious, and I'd probably want some sort of receipt off him. Maybe you did get a receipt, I don't know, but not from an authorised wholesaler, did you?
Yeah, that's correct. We agree with what Mr. Bob Deere is saying, and and the client did learn a lesson. And since 2020, we know that matter is now closed and is understood.
Okay.
And none of that is happened again.
Right. Okay. So, if I come into your shops today, this afternoon, let's give you a hint. You'd have all the documentation there to show me or my other officers.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a refusal book with me at the moment, but I'll be at shop after about 3 o'clock. So
that's all right. I don't normally announce when I'm turning up, Mr.
No.
For obvious reasons.
I'm just clarifying that certain documents are with me right now. So by the time I go shop, it'll be later this afternoon.
I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, Chair, I've got no other questions. Thank you.
Councillor Gallant, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Chair. Question, and forgive me if this has been answered or it's in the text somewhere where I've missed it. How long has Mr. Jeep been working at the shop?
He's been helping me since 2022.
2022. Okay. And did you consider having him trained prior, or at least when he started?
I have personally trained him, but not through a certified authority, which Mr. Panchal did it recently.
Okay. So he could have been selling alcohol or any licensed substance. He could have been selling alcohol between 2022 and now.
Yes, yes.
Okay. On your training, but without, yeah.
But under the supervision, like I'm normally present with him most of the time.
Okay, right. Thank you very much, Chair. That's fine. That's great. Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you. Councillor Colley, do you have any questions? I have some questions. Mr. Singulati, you mentioned that your dad helps you at the shop, right?
Yes.
Did he receive appropriate training as well?
Yes, he has a license. He
holds the license, but did he receive appropriate
training
since the?
Yes. He got a full personal license with Hillingdon Council.
Okay. So, have you also received any training or guidance on duty, paid alcohol requirements, and how to verify that your suppliers comply with duty?
Yes, I have.
Was this recent?
No. This is I know since the AW license thing came up, I have read through and read about it,
Which was on which date, please?
which will be about 7-8 years ago, maybe longer.
Yes. So despite the fact that you got appropriate training, you still let this happen.
It was
And
error.
your dad is the
Mm.
license also.
Well,
He had
so-
appropriate training,
He-
and
he
yet
had-
you have failed to comply with the duty, with the duty to pay the proper duty for alcohol. Can you explain why?
it's one-off mistake. That's all I can say. It's just that he thought it's just he didn't think properly before he just did that. So it was one-off mistake.
Mm-hmm. And you also mentioned that you've got the staff register. I have seen it because you've supplied it as a additional documentation, but I could only see one employee on it. Can you explain it to me?
इसमें नाम नहीं लिखा आपने.
Ma'am, he's got other training in the register that he's got. This is the one that of Jit Singh that we sent it to you.
Yeah, but why didn't we see the rest of the employees register? Can you explain how this happened?
We sent it to you because we wanted to show you what Jit Singh was trained. That's why we sent the Jit Singh's one, but the other staffs have already been trained. They do have
Okay.
it.
It would have been.
If Mr. Bob Deere was to go to the shop in the afternoon, he will be able to see all the rest of the.
Yeah, it would have been helpful to have everyone's training certificates as well, just for clarity. But at this instance, it's okay. Okay, I will move now since there are no further questions. Oh, Mr. Deere.
Sorry, Chair, you've just reminded me of one point right at the top of my list of questions.
Yeah.
The certificate that's been submitted,
Yeah.
one isn't signed. It's not signed by Mr. Panchal or the trainer that I can see. And also on the information about this course, it's not got name of premises. It's got name of premises, but it's not been filled in. So that could come from anywhere. I mean, perhaps you need to add that to your certificates or paperwork, Mr. Singh Gulati.
Sorry, which one are you talking about, Bob?
The information you sent in, well, I received yesterday. You may have sent it the day before or whatever, but it's the certificate.
The what Manpreet did was when he sent the certificates, he sent two certificates. One was signed by me. Both is the same date. If you see, the one that's signed is the one that is valid. The one that is signed is not valid, and so that signed certificate already he attended, and the other one, I think because it stays in that training manual, that is why the name of the premises is not up there, but it is Harmoon Singh Gulati signed at the bottom if you see.
Yeah, 1 minute. I'm just gonna go back to that. That's that one. Yeah. And no staff training. Yeah. On this certificate, it's got your name underneath it. There's been the coordinator training, whatever it says at the bottom. But it's not signed, is it? There's a line there to sign, I presume. Every line I see, I sign.
It is signed. I think
he sent you the wrong copy.
He must have sent you the wrong copy, but there is a signed copy here. I've got it.
Okay, no problems then. And also the training, it's just got the name and address on. So it needs to be put. I appreciate it's going in one folder.
Yeah.
But just to authenticate it a bit better, I would say anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr.
Thank you.
J, I can see the certificate, and it is signed by Mr. Panchal, who is the training coordinator, and dated 6/11, 2024.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Any further questions?
No, not at all, Chair.
All right. I will invite, Mr. Panchal, can you just reconfirm to the committee the additional conditions that you're proposing so that our clerk can take note as well.
Yes, ma'am. I will be sending the copy of the additional conditions, which are CCTV. There's a proposed conditions.
Yeah.
And all that. And ma'am, I've got in copy with me. I will send it to Bob, and as well as send it to the.
Can you please read it again, just for clarity?
Yeah, ma'am. There are total about 10 conditions. So I'll read through if you want. CCTV is one of them, which is 31 days.
Yes.
Equipment must be suitable export method. There is CCTV facility so that the police officers of the council can make evidential copy of the data they require. That is the second. The third one is the staff working at the premises shall be trained in use of equipment, and a log will be kept to verify this. At least one member of staff so trained shall be present at the premises at all times when it's open for licensable activities. So in other words, if any responsible authority goes there to take a thing, one of the staff will be capable enough to reload in the USB stick and give it to the police, to the responsible authorities. Cameras on I've put down cameras on entrances must capture full screenshots of the heads and shoulders of all people entering the premises. There shall be signs displayed in the customer area to advise that CCTV is in operation. Should the CCTV become non-functional, this shall be reported immediately to the licensing authority. CCTV camera shall monitor all areas of the premises by customers and the area immediately outside the premises to monitor numbers and prevent crime and disorder. Then, ma'am, I've also put down the prominent signage indicating the permitted hours for the sale. That is the operating schedule of the premises. The license holder shall ensure that an incident report register will be present. The refusal book shall be present. I put down, and all staff to be trained every 3 months in relation to the licensing objectives and make sure they are promoted properly. All products for sale in the shop will be purchased from an AWRS registered business, and invoices will be available for inspection by the authorities when required. Under prevention of public nuisance, a clear notice shall be displayed at every exit from the premises to request customers to respect the needs of local residents and leave the premises and the area quietly. Then we are on the protection of children from harm. We are saying the license shall adopt a challenge 25 policy where all customers who appear to be under the age of 25 and attempt to purchase alcohol or other age restricted products shall be asked for proof of their age. License shall prominently display notices advising customers of the challenge 25 policy. The following proofs of age are the only ones to be accepted. Proof of age cards being the pass hologram symbol, UK photo driving license, and the passport. There will be staff competence training, ma'am, and I'll put down what the trainings will be required.
Yeah.
And there will be a refusal book, and the refusal should be kept a register of refusal sales of all age-restricted products. I mean, say all age-restricted products. That includes the vapes, that includes the alcohol and everything. So, ma'am, that's the conditions that I'll be sending in for the proposed conditions to be added to the license.
Thank you, Mr. Panchal. Councillor Gallant.
Thank you very much, Chair. The question is to Bob, dear. Bob, you've heard those tightened up conditions they've been offered, and you've seen the training and you've seen the measures that have been taken since the raid in 24, training Mr. G. Does that give you confidence that they'll be able to, that premises will uphold the licensing objectives? That's the question.
Yes, sir. It lays a lot, well, probably 99% of my concerns. Obviously, you know, the aim of a underage test purchase operation is to not to catch them. You know, it's to ensure and to train them that they are aware that we do them, one, and two, hopefully they're going to ask our volunteer, because we don't use 17-and-a-half-year-olds for one reason. I think that'd be totally unfair. We use underage children. So to ask them the relevant questions that you should be asking them, and to refuse sales, and then to put them in a book. And that's the purpose, sir. So yes, they have gone allayed my concerns. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. I will now move to summing up. Mr. D, can you briefly sum up, please?
Chair, it will be very brief. As I've just mentioned, you know, the aims of the test purchase operations, they're there for a purpose. If you know, we'd like people to react at the time and obviously not after, but hopefully this is a lesson learned by Mr. Galati and his family. They are family run businesses. I have met Dad as well in the shop, just when I put the blue posters up. So obviously, and before, so obviously he's shown previously that he does learn a lesson. Obviously, just hopefully in another 4.5 years' time, he won't be learning another one. So that is my summing up, and I'm happy with the conditions.
That's very good to hear. Thank you. Mr. Panchal, please, can you briefly sum up?
Yeah, thank you very much, Chair. I'm going to be very brief, ma'am. We do understand, and my client has now understood the lesson that he's learned from what has happened, and matters have taken it very seriously, and we'll make sure this does not happen again, and we'll fully cooperate with the responsible authorities. And we are happy with the conditions proposed. Thank you very much.
Perfect. This brings us to the end of the review hearing. The committee will now retire to deliberate together with legal advisor and clerk. And I anticipate we should be back hopefully by 11:30. Isabel, would this give you enough time?
That sounds good to me, yeah. Mr. Panchal, could you please send that document
Yes.
with the conditions as soon
Yeah.
as possible? That would be really helpful.
Yeah, I'll do that now.
Thank you.
Thank
In the
you.
meantime, you're welcome to stay online in one of the rooms that Isabel will create,
Yeah.
or you could come back at 11:30 if you wish to.
Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you.